So this actually was an arcade game.
Well, it wasn't the arcade game a different game? Like, it was called Ninja Gaiden, but
yeah, it was totally different.
It was more like, was it more like a Double Dragon beat 'em up?
It was a beat 'em up. It was a beat 'em up.
But yeah,
but yes, Michael didn't play through the last three levels of this game, the last stage, if you will. So he doesn't know how hard this game actually is.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I would have done that if I'd known that Alonzo was putting on ointment.
Oh, you wouldn't have, Michael.
You wouldn't have, yeah.
I wouldn't have finished it, but I would have played it at least. Yeah, those fucking statues can burn in hell, by the way. There's like an encounter coming up that pissed me the fuck off. But this game has much more fluent control than Castlevania does, because Castlevania is also kind of built on patience and, taking
really
things slow. But in that game, you have like really relatively stiff controls. You can't move in midair, or like your momentum is locked once you jump.
Damn. Come on.
But one thing that Castlevania does have that's better than this is that if you whip in midair and an enemy contacts the whip, they will take damage from it. Whereas with this, like, trying to hit those fucking birds.
Fuck?
Oh, what the hell?
I have never seen this before.
What the fuck?
What is happening?
Only the best
For
game
Mavericks,
ever.
folks, there are only supposed to be 2 of these things, but there are now 4 of them.
I've never seen this before in my life. What is happening?
Does the health refill when they show up? Because it kind of looks like it did.
What the fuck? What happened? What was that?
Let's play Curse.
What the heck? I've never seen that before in my life, and I've beaten this game 10 times.
But
What
you'd
the
notice
fuck
that
was
when
that
Ethan
shit?
died just now, he got sent back to the beginning of stage 4 or 3, which is like one of the reasons why I'd say this game is at least... Because, like, Ninja Gaiden has that reputation of being like, oh my god, this is harder than AIDS. You know what I mean? Or, like...
It is. It is very, very difficult.
But, I mean, like, I'm sure that's true of stage 6, but for the rest of the game, it just seems to me like... Because where it differs from something like Mega Man, if you die in the boss in Mega Man, you get sent back to the little hallway thing, and then you can try the boss again. Whereas in this, if you die, you get sent back to the sub-chunk of the stage. Like, which is weird, because when you die...
Damn it!
When you die, like, Ethan's gonna respawn on this screen, right? He didn't get sent back to the beginning, but if you die in the boss, for some reason, it sends you all the way back, even if you haven't haven't game over.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why they do that, but usually the bosses are so easy that you don't have to...
Yeah, the bosses are really easy. And, like, a lot of them... Like, the third boss kind of gave me trouble when I first fought it, until I realized you could destroy the little things that he throws. And then, like, once you figure out the pattern, you can do it pretty easy. But it's also, like, if you're good and you're paying attention and you're taking your time on the encounters, it's totally possible to get to the boss with full health and kind of brute force it if you have to. At least for the first
It's
few stages.
really hard to brute force this game.
Oh, I'm saying you could brute force the bosses. Like, we're
if
gonna
you have
be
full
fighting
health.
the boss of stage 5. Like, you don't even have to learn how to dodge his attacks if you get to him with enough health. You can just,
Alright.
like,
Let's do this
Dark
for real
Souls
this
force it. And yeah, like I got to this boss right here, because, like, basically, if you stand underneath those pillars and duck and just take slashes at
You're
things,
safe here.
they can't get you. So this boss is, like, even easier than the last one. But like I was trying to say earlier...
It's nice for it to grant you a little bit of reprieve, because ordinarily, yes, this game is hard as baloney.
Well, like, I really don't think that's the case, though, because, like, I'd say that Castlevania 3...
It is fucking hard, dude.
I mean, it's not easy, but it's not
jumps.
fucking Castlevania 3. Like, that game is, like, unbelievable. Where, like, you will fight... There are, like, enemies in that game as early as the 3rd level that take 9 hits. Like, the fucking bone dragons, the little skeleton dragons on the walls. And, like, compared to that, most of the enemies in this game die in 1 hit. You get to continue from the screen you're on, except on the boss. The bosses are easy as sin. You know, like, I really don't think this game is as hard as its reputation.
Yeah. Wait until you get to the last level, and you'll change that opinion.
Yeah. I'd say if you play it enough and you got enough practice, yeah, I guess. And it's like me saying, yeah, Dark Souls isn't that hard, but somebody that's going to jump in that doesn't know it.
I played them without any practice, and I was able to get through them, and I suck at NES games.
Give it to you. You suck at video games?
I said I suck at NES games.
On the floor, and back up. Nice work. I guess it's a goodbye.
You guys excited for the new Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden game coming out?
Have a nice day.
There's a new Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, new Ninja Gaiden coming out. Ragebound.
I have a friend, Retropolis Zone, who's a big fan of the Ninja Gaiden reboot games, and he basically said that only the first two are really good. Because there was this guy named...
I'm talking about the Ragebound, the new 2D pixel one.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a new 2D pixel Ninja Gaiden?
Yeah, you guys didn't know about that? Let me start putting in stuff.
Is it Ninja Gaiden 4? Edit it into the playthrough.
But basically what I've heard is there's this guy named Imonobu Itagaki, I think is his name. He looks like Tommy Wiseau. But he was like the producer and director or something of the first of Ninja Gaiden 04 and Ninja Gaiden 2 2006 or whatever, whenever that game came out.
Shitballs.
He worked on those first two games, and then he left.
All right.
Tempo.
It's easy to get stuck in shit like that in this game.
Yeah.
Or if you get hit once and you ruin your flow, you just get hit by everything afterwards.
I have some complaints to voice about the wall jumping in this game, but I'll get to that in a second. But basically,
they fix it in they improve upon the wall jumping in 2 and 3. But
oh, good.
Let's hear it now while I'm concentrating.
Yeah, but basically,
Ethan, don't forget to edit in what Alonzo's typing up right now.
But basically,
he's typing up a TPS report.
Are you done?
No.
Oh, basically, Itagaki left Tecmo or Temco or whatever the fuck the company is called after Ninja Gaiden 2 to found Valhalla Studios, which is the company that infamously made a notorious Wii U bomb called Devil's Third. Don't know if you guys have ever heard of that.
Oh, yes, I know all about Devil's Third.
Yeah,
we should play that for the show right now.
Right now.
Well,
let's turn this shit off and play Devil's Third.
You're lucky I have a Wii U and a digital copy of that game. Otherwise, we'd be fucked because that game is really expensive and the eShop is down now. So, yeah, but after he left, some guy named Yosuke something asshole took over production duties for the
Kirby ASMR.
Took over. He became like the new producer of the series after Itagaki left. So.
The Silver Birds are the fucking worst. Fuck.
And he produced Ninja Gaiden 3, which was like from watching Retropolis Zone's review, like it seemed like the first two games had a bunch of weapons like the Moon Staff and the Nunchaku and stuff like that, whereas for the third game they cut it all down to just the Dragon Sword, and I think like Ryu is possessed by a shadow parasite or something like that, which is sort of like the symbiote from Spider-Man. And the story is much more melodramatic because the stories of the first two Ninja Gaiden reboot games are basically like demons from the fiend world have come to the human world to do things, and like the story is like completely nonsensical in those first two games, and then you get to the third game and it's like they're trying to ape off of the story focus of other 7th generation video games at the time, and except it's done worse or something.
Whoa.
And then there was some game called Ninja Gaiden Yaiba or something. There was like
another... there's Ninja Gaiden Go, which is a mobile game for $10.
Yes. Created by Niantic, who went on to make a Pikmin game or something. But yeah.
You're joking, right?
Oh, yeah, the people who made Pokemon Go made a Pikmin Bloom, I think it's called.
Pikmin your mom.
By the way, this level is a pain in the ass. Like, those fucking birds, like, the moment that they appear on screen, you basically have to stop and duck and wait for them to get into position, because...
The silver birds are the hardest enemy in the game because they fly all over the screen. in level 6, they love to interrupt your jumps no matter what.
Yeah.
Shit, fuck.
Those fucking kicking guys.
And they do 3 pegs of damage.
And pro tip for the bats, don't kill them, just jump over them, because like there's a really annoying quirk of this game where like enemies have like pre-specified spawn points in the level, right? And if you get that spawn point just barely on screen, then kill the enemy that it belongs to, the enemy will just keep respawning indefinitely. So if you just jump over the bat instead, then it will like it won't have despawned or died, but you can go past the despawn point without it killing you. But the fucking wall jump,
obviously, yeah, go ahead.
So the wall jump is obviously a unique mechanic for NES. Like I know the Batman game had it, but I think didn't that come out the same year as this? Batman NES.
Yes.
I'm not sure which came out first, if they just happen to have a similar idea at the same time, but it works similarly. Where like, and the thing about the wall jump is, like those pillars that Ethan is standing on, you can wall jump onto for some reason, so you have to kind of be careful. And it's really possible, especially in this room right here, to get stuck in between 2 pillars, and there are like a bunch of enemies running underneath you. And then, like, if you try to jump down to get down to ground level, you'll bounce off the enemy and cling to the wall.